Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of HealingStars.com. This is the chart. It's the Solar Annular Eclipse, 10th of June 2021. It's set for London, 11:52 British Summer Time. And I'm using whole signs to represent the houses. And you can see Gemini. Here's Gemini. We have actually the midheaven in the UK, but this is the North Node. And that's the Moon, the Sun, and Mercury retrograde. So this is a stellium in Gemini. And Gemini is the sign of duality. It's the ruler is Mercury, and we are currently in a Mercury retrograde phase. It happens 3 times a year. It's not unusual. This one, if you've been watching the news, you'll hear an awful lot of really weird things going on. I won't go into detail, but Mercury is the trickster. That's the problem. That's the negative. And belief systems are being analysed, shall we say. Tested is the word. Because the North Node in Gemini is about information, communication. The South is Sagittarius, which is all about beliefs and religion and higher learning. And we are going through quite a major transition at the moment with Uranus in Taurus, there it is, at a right angle to Saturn in Aquarius. So that's the theme of the year. Now, at this eclipse, first of all, a solar eclipse, the degree is vibrating, active for 6 months. So if you have a planet around 19 degrees, and that can be 2 degrees either side, it has to be close, then that is definitely going to be a year of change for you, especially, of course, if it's your birthday on the 10th of June. Now, Venus, I'm just looking around a moment, but Venus is in Cancer. That's all about family. And on the 21st, the Sun will move into Cancer, and that, of course, is the summer solstice. I'm alerted to Mars. Mars is at 29 Cancer, opposite Pluto. And Mars will change sign on Friday into Leo. Now that's a good event because Mars loves the sign of Leo. It's a fire sign, it's action, it's warm, it's the summer, with Leo energy, it's royalty, all these things. If you have a planet in Leo, if you know someone who's got the Sun or Moon in Leo, then you'll feel their warmth. It's a really lovely thing to have in somebody's chart. Now, Neptune. Neptune is in Pisces. There it is at 23. And it's its home sign, so it makes it strong. But also, at this solar eclipse, it's at a right angle to the Moon, the Sun, and Mercury. Now, Neptune is nebulous. Neptune is the ocean. It's the sea. In its positive, it's the high vibration. It's your connection to source, it's healing, it's universal oneness, unconditional love. And only today on Facebook I read a wonderful true life story of a woman who was an extremely good diver, and she was rescued by a whale. The whale is it's actually a mammal, of course, but it rescued her from a shark attack. So it's a lovely, heartening story, and very, very much connected to Neptune. Neptune is a fog. You can't see clearly with Neptune. Facts, which is the realm of Mercury and Gemini, can be diffused, can be hidden, can be confused. And with Mercury retrograde, it's like really massive. So notice that questions might not get answered. Now, dreams are a very good way to access Neptune. They are. And also your intuition. We will have Mercury joining the Sun on Friday, and that's known as the throne room of the king. I love that poetry of that expression. And then what will happen is Mercury continues to retrograde, and then when it goes forward again, it is no longer an evening star, which it is currently, sets after the Sun, it will be a morning star. It's got the same kind of cycle as Venus, but not many people are aware of it. So once it's a morning star, it's collecting facts and information. The evening star is more to do with Hermes and the Mercury ability to go into the underworld at will. It's the only god that can do that. So very good for psychotherapists. Now, Mercury is also, in the tarot, the magician. And magic, of course, is Mercury's realm, the magician. It's also, though, the sorcerer. Now, I've been pondering and, what do I write about? What can I say about this solar eclipse? And a good friend of mine mentioned to me the other day, it was a live broadcast on Facebook, as it happens. He mentioned, what is your spiritual practice? And I went, oh, I sort of forgotten my spiritual practice. And then I was reminded, he talked about A Course in Miracles. Now, if you've ever tried to read it, it's a really difficult book. It's heavy. But one book I bought a long time ago was a book by Dyer. And I really like how he writes. He's very clear. And I picked up another of his books called The Power of Intention and started to read it today. It's full of really useful ideas and practical ideas of connecting to source. And I'm going to quote, because he quotes Castaneda, and in Castaneda's words were, intent is a force that exists in the universe. When sorcerers, in brackets, those who live of the source, beckon intent, it comes to them and sets up the path for attainment, which means that sorcerers always accomplish what they set out to do. And of course, he's talking about the power of intention is an energy field, and we all have it, but it's about accessing it. And therefore, he gives some very physic advice. And this is, to me, a very good thing to be thinking of now. We're going to have Mars going through Leo, because that fire energy initiates, get things done. It doesn't sit back and smell the roses like Taurus does, but Leo is, it's that warmth. I highly recommend this book. It's an easy to read book, and I'm rereading it. I've read it many times, but I'm rereading it now. So that feeling of how we spend our days is how we spend our lives. There are other books, and I think I'm going to start a book list on my website to recommend certain books, because I have a huge library, huge, massive, too many books. However, I love books because you can pick them up physically and handle them and then open at a page and read what it says on that page. Another book I highly recommend is a children's story, but it's called A Wrinkle in Time. And it describes something called Tesseract, about the ability to bring time together. It's an integration exercise. It's very much a sorcerer's book. So notice the word, it means to be connected to source. So I'm really interested in your spiritual practice, what you go to in times of trouble. And of course, we are all living through this time of great uncertainty, isolation, cutting off from physical warmth and hugs, and meeting people and feeling free. And we are hopefully on the last lap, but we just don't know. And to me, it's that questioning, uncertainty, that is also really important at this time to connect to source. I'm going to leave that with you to contemplate. And notice, I haven't said it, but a day of a solar eclipse is a day to go within. It's not a good day to start anything. It's ideal for meditation. It's ideal for connecting to source. And it's ideal, of course, to Remember the power of the word, the spoken word, the written word, signs, signals that might catch your attention. And that carries on throughout Mercury's retrograde, which carries on until June the 22nd. Interesting date for the UK. And also to notice the Neptune can distract us, can take us off our path. We can get lost and feel despair and weakened. And that's the negative, as I said, of Neptune. Get lost in a dream world and fantasy. Great for movies, but not very good for doing stuff, getting down to it. So roll on, Mars into Leo. We'll have Venus following into Leo also on the 27th of June. Venus will stay there till the 22nd of July. Mars is in Leo until the 29th of July. So this really does shift the elements into the positive, creative energy of fire. Thank you for watching. I'm Pam Carruthers of HealingStars.com.